Yes, you're ఇప్పుడు Akhil, have you completed practical till yesterday? Akhil Krishna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
ఓకే ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయమ్మా? Okay, I think here also, especially for Fargate, there is no specific section. So we need to work from ECS only. So open the same ECS again. And I think the process here also will be that same steps only. So I will note down the steps. First step you need to create a cluster. Second one, task definition. Next, service or task. So the only thing what we do different is we'll be selecting Fargate instead of EC2. So first I'll create first step, create one cluster. So first I'll create a cluster. And also, I forgot to mention, please delete all your clusters after your practice, okay? Or else you'll get, you need to pay for the service, okay? So here I'll say Fargate test. So I've selected default VPC. So as you can see, by default, we have it is selecting AWS Fargate serverless. Okay. So this is selected by default. So we need not select EC2 this time. Okay. So we are not creating. So the only difference between this is if you select here, if I select Amazon EC2, so here you can see it is creating one auto scaling group, right? So here you will be adding or removing your number of servers. Okay. Whereas while creating this AWS Fargate service, you need not create any servers. Okay, all the underlying servers, so all the traffic, so all these maintained by AWS itself. Okay, so you need not have any tension. So like while you are practicing, you are telling me like, sir, my server I am able to create only 3 containers, right? So there is some limit. So whereas if you select this Fargate, so even if you create 100 containers, so basically need not worry about the hardware. Okay, so you never have to worry about these hardware limitations and all. So all these hardware limitations and server related activities will be taken care by the AWS. Okay, so similarly, we can say we have worked on light cell, right? So light cell was little premium service. So almost you can consider this Fargate also almost a similar type of service. Okay, so where the user will be given very limited options. So most of the activities will be handled by AWS. Okay, so that is the why they are telling it as serverless. So you will not be creating any servers here. So all the server related activities will be handled by AWS. So that is why they are calling it as serverless. Okay, then click on create. and also sometimes in interview also they will be acting or asking this question like server and serverless cluster. So that time you can elaborate and you can explain. So you can explain about Fargate, right? When we're creating any cluster using Fargate, then it will go under serverless. Why serverless? Because all the servers are handled by AWS. Okay, whereas when you are creating one cluster with servers, you have to create your own instances, and in using that instance hardware resources you will be sharing with your containers. Okay, so in that there will be some limitations. Okay, each EC2 each instance will be able to handle only limited number of containers. So whenever whenever you are running short of hardware resources, you need to add more servers, right? So in that situation, all the things are managed by the user. Whereas in Fargate, so there is no limitation. So you can add any number of containers irrespective of the instances available. So going back, so this is our cluster. So almost the interface will be similar only. So there will be no changes. So here you can see service, tasks, and in the infrastructure section, so you can see capacity providers by Fargate, whereas our in our container sections are empty. So here we are not having any containers. Okay, so the capacity is provided by Fargate. Okay, so Fargate is providing us. So now you can just create one task definition. So I think what the advantage of creating task definition is, if you are creating one task definition, so that same task definition can be used in different servers. Okay, so I think we have already created few task definitions the other day. I think I'm having three task definitions, so I'll use one of them. So first I'll remove unnecessary thing. Okay, okay, there are so many available for me. So three task definitions are already created. So I'll use the same task definition onto my new cluster. Okay, so maybe I'll use this trial 2. I'll explore once. Trial 2. Okay, what I'm saying. Okay, 80, 81, 82. Okay, I need without port numbers. So not this one. Next, what are all other available? May 12 task definition. So here also I think I mentioned memory, and maybe port numbers also I have added. Okay, 8080 port number I have added. So this won't work. So this one, can we edit name? No, I think. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll create one new task definition. But one thing, be clear that you can also use existing task definitions also. Okay, so create new task definition. Okay, so here I'll say Fargate task definition. Okay, so here I'll come. So here they're asking me to provide my container details. I think there is some change. So task definition, new task definition. Okay, so Fargate task definition. Okay, so name of the container I need to provide. So here is ECR link. I'll click on that. So I'll say Fargate container, and I'll provide my image link from ECR. Okay, one image is available. I'll take this image, copy, and I will use here. Next, this all I'll leave it as empty. Click on next. So app environment, I'll select Fargate instead of EC2. Okay. So select Fargate, Linux operating system, one CPU, 3 GB memory. Here also I think you can uh, make the difference. So this is maybe the task size, not your server size. This is the task size. So they are taking it as more. So I'll reduce it. So we'll see what happens if we reduce it. Okay. CPU memory combination should be there. If you are selecting 0.25 CPU, then we have to select zero point 0.5 GB or 1 GB or 2 GB. Okay. So again here also I'll select 0.5 to CPU. Okay. So remember that this is not your instance settings. So this is the settings for your uh, container. Okay. So I'll scroll down. I'm leaving just all the default values. Then click on next, review, and click on create. Okay. I've created one task definition. I think this task definition is looking differently than our EC2 task definition, right? So this is EC2 task definition, and okay, both are almost similar only. Fargate task definition, right? So I think how to identify different task definitions is, I think you can check here. So inside here we can see the app environment as Fargate, right? So when it is created for EC2, for example this one, so here you can see the app environment as EC2, such that you can identify the difference. When you are creating task definition for EC2, it will show app environment as EC2. Whereas if you create a task definition for Fargate, you will be finding it as app environment Fargate. Okay. So now let us deploy this task definition onto our container cluster. Okay. So go back, so get inside this cluster section. Okay, so this is your running cluster. So as you can see, there is zero container instances, no EC2s are provided. So Fargate. So I'll create some tasks first. So run new task. Okay, so here you can select Fargate only. So capacity provider Fargate, no changes. So as you can see, I'm selecting task. Okay, we are creating task now. And how many number of tasks? So roughly I'll say 5 tasks. Okay, at a time. So we'll see. Then I'll click on create. Okay, it's asking me task okay, I have not selected my task definition. So I'll scroll down. So this is what I'm selecting, my task definition. Okay, then click on create. So this or I'm leaving for default values. So as you can see, 5 tasks has been created. So let them start first. Okay, as you can see, I have just started 5 tasks and they have started. So to explore my task, just I'll see. Okay, inside my task, as you can see, 5 are running, right? So similarly, I'll just say I try to add more 5 tasks. Okay, so I click on run new task. So here what I'll do, I'll again provide it. I'll provide my task definition. So again I'll say 5 tasks. Okay, then I'll say create. Okay, so now you can see another 5 tasks has been added, right? So again now you can see 10 containers are running for you. Okay, so I'll go back to my service. So again we'll try. So we'll also create one service where I want minimum 5 number of tasks need to be available all the time. Okay, so I'll go to my services. So I'll click on create a service. Almost the UI will be similar, whereas the other time we were selecting task. Now you will be selecting service. Okay, so here I'll be providing manually. Okay, so I'll say I'll need 5 tasks always running. Okay, so I'll say click on create. Okay, so I'll go back. So as you can see now, another 5 tasks has been added. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think there is no scroll down button here for me to check. Okay, so as you can see, there is no limitation for your hardware. Okay, you can create any number of tasks or any number of services. I think we have created only one service. Okay, so there will be no limitations. So whereas why there is no limitation, because the capacity is provided by Fargate. Okay, so Fargate will look after all your existing task or running task. Okay, so you'll never get exhausted with your hardware resources. Even if I ask you to create another 10 tasks now. So I'll say scroll down. I'll say I need more 10 tasks. Okay, so I'll select Fargate. Now I'll ask 10 tasks. Okay, so scroll down and click on create. Okay, it will add another 10. So under this infrastructure section, you can see the capacity is being provided by Fargate. So you need not have any information of how many servers are running, what is the status of your instance, how much storage is available with your instance. So nothing like that. Okay, all the things are taken care by the Fargate only. Okay, so that is the difference between managed and unmanaged. Okay. Okay. So, see, as you can see now, totally 21 tasks are running. Okay. So the, even if you have up to, if you even if you have to the big go to bigger number also, this will work. Okay. So I'll just remove my more existing tasks. Okay. So totally 21 tasks are running. Okay. So this is not possible when you are handling your EC2. It is possible, but you need to have your instances with of high configuration. Okay. So I'll select and remove. Stop. Okay, just for practice we have done. So this is a premium service, so they will charge little higher than the instances. Okay, and services part, I think this should create one task for us, right? Because service is running in the background, so we shall see. Right, it is creating one because the service has been created, so it needs to run at least one container all the time. So that is the reason this task has been generated again. Okay, right. So if I delete this service, automatically all the task will be deleted. Okay, so select delete service, delete. Okay, click on delete. So what is the service cannot be stopped while it is scaled above zero. Okay, so I think, okay, we'll forcibly delete it. So select delete, force delete service, and delete. Okay, right. So now the cluster is empty. So I'll go back and I'll remove my cluster. Okay, on delete. So now your cluster will be deleted. Okay. Okay, so just do this practice for today. So from tomorrow I will start one new topic. Okay, so one is we have tried one is an serverless option, deploying your containers onto this serverless option, and one is we have deployed our containers using servers option. Okay, and please do this practice. I will be available here. If you are having any doubts, I'll clarify. Okay.